Team just isn't motivated. We aren't aligned. I'm feeling the pressure to execute absolutely flawlessly, but unsure how to lead under fire. If this is you, this can be solved with three strategies that we're going to dive into today. Welcome to Game Plan Leadership. Our goal is to coach business leaders to team victory by mastering the fundamentals of leadership, transforming teams, and building high performance habits. I'm Desi Mayner, founder of Mayner Leadership, where we have helped over 1,000 service businesses and their leaders across 50 different industries to build a streamlined, efficient business operation with elite leadership and a united, high-performing team. We are here to set you up to win. Every other week, we're going to drop fresh plays to sharpen your leadership game. If you're ready to stay ahead of the competition and lead your team to your next victory, make sure that you are in the huddle. Join our roster today so you never miss a strategy session. And stay tuned until the end for an actionable game plan that you can start using today to elevate your leadership and take your business to the next level. Let's dive in, Playmakers. Bring it in, Playmakers. So in today's show, we're going to tackle the secrets that legendary sports coaches use to create the powerhouse teams that they've built. We're going to show you exactly how to apply these moves to your business. We're going to cover the fundamentals that drive success. We're going to dive into the powerful techniques for motivating your team, and we're going to walk through real examples from the worlds of sports and small business. Get ready to discover how the precision of Vince Lombardi, the Super Bowl, the Lombardi Trophy, the team building magic of Phil Jackson, like MJ, and the strategies of other elite leaders can give you the edge that you need. This isn't just going to be talk. It's a playbook for real, actionable steps that can elevate your leadership, your team, and your business. If you're ready to lead like a pro, stay with us. You're not going to miss it, because we are starting right now. Let's begin with some core leadership principles that hold true across sports and business, really. So the first one, we're just going to dive right in, is preparation. So in both sports and business, when we look at preparation, success is built on a foundation of thorough preparation. So for small service businesses, preparation could mean setting clear operational standards, getting the checklist, getting the playbooks down, ensuring that you have a really good onboarding and training program so that all team members are trained up and know how to do all the things. Also, that you have really good contingency plans if things go wrong. That's a great business example. A sports example of preparation, John Wooden comes to mind immediately, former UCLA basketball coach, famously prepared his players down to the minute details of even how to put their socks on to prevent blisters. Ladies and gentlemen, that is preparation. So Wooden's meticulous approach paid off, obviously, with 10 NCAA championships. Okay, let's apply preparation to small business and put that into play. So plumbing business that we're working with, the preparation for them means ensuring that each technician is equipped with the toolkit. So their van or their truck is organized, it's put together, it has everything that it's needed, it's checked weekly, as well as they have their truck or van checklist to maintain consistency, as well as they have in the field job checklists as well. That is all preparation that we've helped them to put into place. A team that is prepared to execute reliably will build that reputation for quality and trust. So preparation leads to quality, that leads to trust with your customers. All right, that's preparation. It's core leadership principle number one that works across all sports and all of business. Number two, core leadership principle is execution. Execution, execute. A plan is only as good as its execution. Leaders who can guide their teams to execute flawlessly or as close to that as possible under pressure, right? With all of the marketplace that we got going on, with customers in homes, those people that can execute almost flawlessly under pressure, consistently see success, consistently win, whether they're on the field, on the court, or in the service industry in a small business. Let's dig into a sports example. I'm thinking of my guy, Phil Jackson, the Zen master of basketball. So he led the Chicago Bulls and the LA Lakers to multiple championships by coaching his players to stay calm, focused, and execute under high pressure moments. How did he do this? He created them in practice, okay? And he used these words over and over again. Stay calm, stay focused, execute. Stay calm, stay focused, execute. Let's dig into business. What does this mean for business and how do we execute in small business? Okay. So landscaping company that I'm thinking of right now, execution for them means that they're training their crews to follow a specific protocol or SOP, standard operating procedure, to ensure on site so they can get the quality and the consistency as well as the efficiency. So you want consistency over and over, you have quality in your service, and then you also have the efficiency for them. So it was about delivering on the company's promise every single time, whether it was residential lawns or a commercial property. Okay. So far, core leadership principle number 1, preparation. Number 2, execution. Third one and final one, leadership principle that goes across all sports fields and small business world is feedback. Yes, feedback. So after each game, coaches review footage with their players, watch game film. We analyze every single move so that we can improve performance. This focus on feedback translates to continual improvement in business as well. So you're asking yourself, what does game film look like? Okay, it's after action reviews, it's debriefs. So let me give you a sports example. So Saban is amazing at this. So at Alabama, he perfected the art of feedback. So this was the 24-hour rule. Okay, it gives players one day to celebrate or lament a game, right? So if they win, they can celebrate. If they lose, they can kind of be depressed a little bit. And then it's back to focusing on growth. And what's the first thing they do? They watch the game film. Okay, so they can fix what they did wrong on their end, going right back to execution, and then move forward and forward to get better and better. So let's apply feedback to business. So I'm thinking of a small marketing agency that we're working with. They conduct a debrief after a campaign. All right, they launch a campaign, they conduct a debrief, they look at the numbers, they discuss what went well and where there's room for improvement. Okay, so getting this and establishing a regular feedback loop in any way, shape, and form, small, large group, or one-on-one, it's going to help the members learn from the action that they took, learn from the execution, learn from the project, and that's just going to boost all performance. Feedback is like the tide that rises all ships. Everybody gets better with feedback if done well. The goal for feedback is to always move forward. Okay, those are some core leadership principles that work across all of sports and all of business. Now let's talk about some sports tactics to help your team motivation and unity and or cohesion. Okay, so let's talk motivation first. So motivation in business is very similar to sports. It's about fostering a shared purpose. Okay, service business leaders, just like you, need to learn from coaches in the sports world and how to rally their team across the common mission. Okay, here's some examples. Dabo Sweeney, head coach of Clemson, uses a family-oriented approach. He's a player's coach. He inspires players by making them feel like they're part of something bigger than them. They're part of something meaningful, not only in just their little community, but the world, right? Let's apply that to business. So in a home services company, leaders can build motivation by showing each person, so every single team member that works, the impact that they're making on their clients and on the community. So they need to recognize, and sometimes they're going to be helped to recognize the team members for their contributions and reinforce that culture where every single role matters and everyone's motivated to deliver their best. That's called discretionary effort. But you have to enroll them into the mission, into the movement. I don't care if you're putting in brick pavers because you're a landscaping company. It's not about the brick pavers. Okay, you have to, as a leader, you got to come up with something that is bigger than the brick paver. You are better than the brick paver. I promise you. So it doesn't matter what your industry is. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You have to create a mission, a movement, and enroll people into that mission, especially your team. That's where you want to start. That's how you motivate people, because they don't care about the brick paver. What they care about is supporting their family, is growing as a human, and moving up in the world to accomplish the things. But you have to enroll people, especially your team, start with your team, into that mission. The second key thing that we can learn from sports tactics, which is about unity and cohesion, okay, it is critical that you create a winning team, and you're only going to do so with unity and cohesion. So when team members support each other, okay, they can overcome any challenge and push through those difficult things or seasons or projects together. Let me give you an example. Pat Summitt, former coach, Tennessee, Lady Vols, the basketball team, amazing team, even more amazing coach. She used to emphasize unity and trust. Okay, so support and unite, unity and trust among her players. The way she did that was actually outside of practice, outside of the basketball court. They had to hang out with each other. They got to know each other. She facilitated these relationship building opportunities, and that helped her team to win 8 NCAA titles under Pat Summitt, all because of unity, trust, cohesion, and relationships. Small business application. So let's look at this. So for a small auto repair shop, right, cohesion might involve setting up regular meetings where technicians and the front office staff, they share the updates, they discuss the challenges, they celebrate customer satisfaction. A cohesive team, okay, creates an environment where people trust each other and they work together seamlessly. Now, motivation, cohesion, those are the sports tactics that you're looking at that can help you motivate and unite your team. This episode is brought to you by Mayner Leadership, your go-to solution for turning chaotic operations, misaligned teams, and poor communication into winning strategies. Don't let these common challenges hold back your success. Discover the 4 meetings that you need to grow a service company. Simple, effective, and fast meetings designed to boost productivity and impact without micromanaging or overcomplicating things. Head over to MaynerLeadership.com/4 meetings to download your free guide today and start transforming your team, or click the link in the show notes below. At Mayner Leadership, we have used this exact communication framework to transform over 1,000 service businesses just like yours. With our tailored leadership consulting, high-impact coaching, interactive workshops, and dynamic keynotes that inspire action and drive real results. Maybe you're ready to elevate your leadership game now. Visit MaynerLeadership.com or click the link in the show notes below to learn more and book your free leadership audit today. Welcome back to the show. To wrap this in a bow, let's look at 2 case studies of some of the best coaches, sports coaches, I think, of all time. Let's kick off with the one, the only, Vince Lombardi in the NFL, football, Green Bay Packers. First off, let's talk about his approach. So he was known for his relentless focus on fundamentals, the way that he broke everything down and didn't do it until you got it right, but did it until you couldn't get it wrong. Okay, that's a very big difference there. Also, his ability to inspire and drive teams to be their best. Lombardi emphasized a couple of things. One was discipline, which leads right into accountability and commitment to excellence. So one of his famous sayings, like words, here's some words that Desi likes, is winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. But what this also taught is that winning was a byproduct of preparation and commitment to the fundamentals, right? So it's all about winning, yes, but the only way we're going to get there is by preparing and committing to the fundamentals of the sport. So let's relate this to your business and your team. So Lombardi's focus on fundamentals can teach us as business leaders that consistent success comes from mastering the basics. Regardless of success, failure, or capacity, the best of the best, the greatest of all time, even talking about Vince Lombardi, focuses on the basics. Never not do the basics. Yes, that was a double negative, okay? So for you, for the small business owner, operator, leader, this means getting the essentials right. Set clear expectations for your team, for the projects. Standardize your processes, build checklists, SOPs, playbooks. Hold people accountable after you have set the right expectation. Look, this approach is going to lead to reliability and to long-term client or customer or patient loyalty. That is what we're looking for. That's what will help us win in business. That's what we can learn by studying Vince Lombardi and the way that he focused on winning through fundamentals and commitment. Let's talk about another one. Mr. Phil Jackson, the NBA, basketball, Chicago Bulls, LA Lakers. Ring a bell? Let's talk about his approach. So he's known for his Zen influenced, and that's the way that I like to put it, player-centered approach. So what he did, he inspired greatness by nurturing both the individual and the team. So here's how he did this. He treated every player as unique, but also emphasized the importance of the whole team, like as one full unit. So he created an environment where stars and the role players, so think like Michael Jackson, but think also like Dennis Rodman, right? Michael Jackson, obviously the star. Dennis Rodman, definite role player. Okay. Both of them alike contributed to the overall success. So one is clarity. Okay. Everyone knew what their role was, because why wouldn't you? You're not going to win if you don't know your role in the overall goal and the mission. Okay. So his use of the triangle offense, right, with MJ at the point was methodical. And it was a methodical approach, and it relied on teamwork and spacing. So in basketball, spacing is incredibly important. So they had to rely on teamwork. They rely on spacing. And this allowed his teams to operate fluidly under high pressure. So he put a lot of trust in people knowing their role, being really clear on it. Okay. And then the spacing and overall the teamwork of the right people in the right places at the right times. How can we take it? Well, what's the business takeaway to this? Okay. So Jackson's strategy teaches us that every team member brings unique skills to the table. We all have strengths. We all have weaknesses. So when we look at our team members, each one of them brings a unique skill to the table. Okay. So what we need to do as owners, operators, and leaders is we need to recognize and utilize. So we need to understand it and then use it. Each person's strengths so we can build a cohesive whole, right? So a good example of this is like if you're just hiring people like you, like we don't need a second you. We already have one of them. That's probably more than enough in the world. I know it is for me, right? So you want to hire your weaknesses so that you can start to put this puzzle piece together. So for a small business, this is going to mean that training like an office staff to understand field operations and vice versa will help to break down silos. And it's going to create like a shared sense of purpose, and that is going to drive higher performance because people know their role and they also know what the other roles in the company are doing. All right. Those are two case studies that we can learn from Mr. Vince Lombardi and Mr. Phil Jackson in the sports world to help us win in business. So to wrap this up, we tackled winning strategies that make great teams unstoppable, whether that was on the field or in the small business world, from basically the importance of preparation and execution to building a culture of feedback and unity. Look, we broke down 3 core principles that legendary coaches like Vince Lombardi and Phil Jackson, what they used to lead their teams to victory. Hey, if it was good enough for them, it's good enough for me. And by the way, we've applied those exact things to well over 1,000 different service-based businesses, and they're winning now where they weren't before. So as you step back into your role and you get about your day-to-day, remember, fundamentals, clear communication, and a cohesive team is what drives success. Go apply these insights, watch your team rise to championship levels. Great huddle, playmakers. This strategy session was packed with powerful plays and game-winning insights designed to elevate your leadership, drive your team to victory, and make your business better than ever. As a coach, both on and off the field for over 20 years, I live for those game-changing moments. And I'm sure that you just scored a few during this episode. Now, it's your turn to make a move. Share your winning plays and your key takeaways by leaving a review wherever it is that you tune in, whether that's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube. And don't keep this game plan to yourself. Share this episode with a fellow leader who's in the trenches and who's ready to level up their leadership game. Your feedback fuels my drive and keeps me in the game, crafting these strategies and sharing insights just for you. And if you're ready to take your leadership and operations to the next level, then book a free leadership audit to learn more by visiting us at www.maynerleadership.com. Keep leading strong, stay in the fight, and make today a powerful one. Until next time, keep pushing for victory.